Good evening, all. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, Divya, you're audible.
A warm welcome to We Talks. So, joining us today is a superwoman and an amazing visionary. She has 18 plus years of entrepreneurial experience and has been actively empowering other women into the startup ecosystem. So, let's welcome Ms. Anisha Cherian, the founder director of Chemanur Academy and Systems Private Limited. She'll be talking on the topic, how fearless women lead. So thank you, Anisha, for joining us, and over to you.
Thank you, Divya. Divya, I can't see your video. I hope, is your video on?
Am I visible now?
Yes, it's visible now. Okay, fine. Okay, but I can't see the attendees. Is that how it is planned, or?
Yes, this is how we can see the attendees.
Okay. No problem. Okay, so good evening to you all. Thank you for that introduction, Divya. Now, the topic given is how fearless women lead. Now, I found this topic to be very interesting because, I have not met a fearless woman. And the point I'm trying to say is it's okay to be fearful. That's very much, part of our lives, whether it's, man or a woman. It really is okay to be, be scared or to be worried, especially if you are an entrepreneur. There are so many occasions in your life where, fear will set in, especially when it comes to quick decision making, where you have to choose between A or B, or you have to choose between this direction or that direction. There is always, uncertainty, and that leads to a certain level of fear. And, the key point is it's okay to be fearful. It's very much a part of learning and growing. Okay. And over the years, you will gain that experience where decision making becomes quick and faster. So I just found this topic to be interesting. So I just, I decided, I'll begin with that. Now to quickly give you a, fast intro about myself again. I consider myself as an entrepreneurial mindset coach. I truly believe that entrepreneurial mindset is a resilient problem-solving mindset that is tuned into opportunities. And it is my mission to inculcate this kind of mindset to youngsters, organization teams, especially to women, to financially empower them. Because only if a woman is financially empowered, she has the power to make decisions. And if she has the power to make decisions, then she can make choices in her life which will lead her in the right direction. So over 18 years, I've had the experience of building, crashing, rebuilding my training and recruiting company, including working with multinational companies, designing training products, delivering train candidates to them. And in the process, I figured out, not only the how and why you need an entrepreneurial mindset, but more importantly, the action points required to impart this mindset, these skills to you. And what are we talking about here? One is self-confidence, which you need for anything and everything. A resilient mindset to face all kinds of challenges, individual and team productivity, which comes from long-term effectiveness, sustainable long-term effectiveness, not efficiency. Efficiency is about doing, maximum things within a given period of time. Effectiveness is doing what is really important or what really matters. Something that contributes to your mission or to your objective. So it's not about doing more things, it's about doing less. And innovation culture, where you come up with a new method or process every single time to get better. Learning, learning curiosity. So you are updating and learning all the time. Selling skills, which you need, to create value. And the most importantly, relationship skills, which is the foundation of any business. And all of this is aligned, to a purpose where you ask yourself, this question, why? Okay. So I have, experienced accomplishments, deep pain of failure, the guilt pangs of a mother trying to, balance work at home. But most importantly, the absolute sense of freedom to do what I enjoy and learn from it. Okay. So I'm committed to transformative change, and I have a weak spot where I sincerely want to help women. And I want to help women, in a way that they will be financially empowered, because that leads to decision making, which is very important for women to find, their, direction of their goals. Okay. Now, I had mentioned some qualities, in my intro. Okay. Now, this is not just qualities only for women. This is also for men. It does not matter. It's not, gender specific. Okay. Now, but I'm going to mention, this entire session, I'm just going to talk about two qualities, which is absolutely required for women leaders, or if you want to get into that leadership position. Okay. And when I'm talking about women leaders, I assume that, most of the audience in this session right now are women entrepreneurs or, startups. So, the two main qualities which I think is absolutely required for women, one is, effective use of your time. Okay. Effective use of your time. I'm not saying efficient use, I'm saying effective use. So there's a big difference between effectiveness and efficiency. I'll talk about that a little later. Second is, being women, you do need family support. Okay. And what I mean by family support is you as a woman need to set certain foundation within your family if you want to pursue an entrepreneurial journey. So these are the two, requirements for a women leader, especially if they want to initiate a startup or they want to be an entrepreneur tomorrow. Now, there's a, saying by Goethe, okay? Things which matter the most should never be at the mercy of things which matter the least. And there's another saying by Stephen R. Covey. Now, Stephen R. Covey is my favorite management guru. I study all the material that is, written by Stephen R. Covey. And he has a statement which he says, effective leadership is about putting first things first. And effective management is the discipline in carrying it out. Okay. So effective leadership is about putting first things first. So we boil down to, again, time management, effective use of your time. First things first is priorities. Okay. Then, I'd like to go a little deeper into this material. Okay. If any of you have, the opportunity to pick up this book, First Things First by Stephen R. Covey, it's just fantastic. I mean, it has the power to transform your life if you, take the effort to read it. So I'm going to give you a very small brief about what is the concept that he's trying to convey in that material. Okay. So first he talks about, the difference between efficiency and effectiveness. Now, efficiency is about doing the maximum things within a given period of time. Effectiveness is not about doing maximum things. It's not about doing more. It's about doing less. But whatever you do, it contributes to an important objective or to your mission or to your goal. Okay. So, there's the difference between a clock and a compass. So clock, what does it do? It measures the time. It measures your efficiency, how fast you can do it and the maximum things you can do within a given period of time. But what does a compass do? A compass sets the direction. So Stephen R. Covey, he talks about, okay, having a clear goal. Okay, so it's like a compass. The minute you have a clear goal, the direction towards that goal automatically gets set. Okay, so it's important for us to understand. So this is specifically meant for women. The reason why I say, time management, effective use of time is so important for women is women get pulled in multiple directions. Okay, now I have somebody saying the audio is not clear.
It's clear, ma'am.
It's clear? Can I continue?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so I'll just get back to what I was talking about. Sometimes your train of thought gets affected. So I was talking to you the difference between efficiency and effectiveness. Okay, efficiency, I told you, it is about doing the maximum things within a given period of time. It's about how efficient you are. Effectiveness is not about doing more, it's about doing less, but whatever you do, it contributes to an important objective or to your goal or to your mission. So it's extremely important for you to set your goal so your direction to that goal becomes very clear. And women specifically need to understand this. Okay. The simple reason being, we are pulled in multiple directions. Okay. When I say multiple directions is, we have many roles that we play, and each of those roles are very important to us. So we are a spouse, so we get pulled in that direction. We are a mother. Now, motherhood, you cannot delegate to anybody else. You're a mother, you're a mother. So you get pulled in that direction. Okay. Your children's school matter, you get pulled in that direction. And then there is this passion or skill which you want to, you want to do something with this passion or skill, and you want to earn an income. Okay, so you become an entrepreneur. So obviously you have to spend time on that. So you get pulled in that direction. Then you are a daughter. So your parents pull some of your time. Okay, and then your in-laws will pull some of your time. And we are pulled in so many different directions. Okay, and all of us have got 24 hours. And in this 24 hours, we get pulled in so many directions. So what do we do? Okay, now if you look at men are conditioned to be breadwinners. Okay, they're conditioned from a very young age. The society conditions them to be breadwinners. Women are, society conditions us to be homemakers. Okay, and when a woman wants to become an entrepreneur, okay, the society still expects her to be a homemaker and an entrepreneur simultaneously. So the stress levels go up. Men are conditioned to be, the breadwinner, so they have to bring in the income. So what happens is, they have a one-track mind and they go towards that one track. Okay, but women, our time is divided in so many different directions. So then the question is, what do we do? How do we, enable change? How do we become an entrepreneur? Your time gets divided in so many directions. So I'm going to, talk about the 4 quadrants, in this material called First Things First. Stephen R. Covey talks about 4 quadrants. It's basically 4 boxes. Okay. Now, the first box he talks about urgent and important. Urgent, important. In the second box, he talks about not urgent and important. So if you have a, pen and paper with you right now, just draw 4 boxes and write this in those boxes. The first box, urgent and important. Second box, not urgent, but important. Third box, urgent, not important. I repeat, third box is urgent, not important. And the last box is not urgent, not important. Okay, so I hope all of you have done this. Just take a white piece of paper, make 4 boxes and write this in that. The first box, urgent and important. Second box, not urgent, important. Third box, okay, urgent, not important. And the last box is not urgent, not important. Okay, so I hope you have all done this. Now, I'm just going to teach you a very small concept. Okay, this is specifically, I would love, especially women entrepreneurs to get this concept. And if you're able to get this concept, let me tell you, it has the power to transform your life and your entrepreneurial journey. I'm able to say this with so much of confidence because, it has this material, at least to a large extent. I try to live by its principles over 20 years. And I know the kind of impact it has had on my life. It's transformative impact. So I would like to share this. I try to share this with all the, my women entrepreneurial friends. And wherever I get an opportunity, I try to share this because of the kind of impact it has had on me. Okay. Now let's discuss the first box, urgent and important. Now this is, the box of, what do I say, crises and problems, urgent and important. Okay. When I say crises and problems, so let's take, we can take a personal example, we can take a professional example. Now, if I take a personal example, okay, I'm overweight, or if I become obese, okay, at some point, my health is going to deteriorate. I could suffer a heart attack and, I could die. So at that point, when I suffer a heart attack and I could die, it becomes a crisis, or it becomes urgent and important. So at that point, what do? You go to the doctor, and the doctor tells you, you've got to reduce 20 kilos over the next 8 months. Because if you suffer the second heart attack, you are going to die. So what is the action that you will take? See, when you hear the doctor telling you that, what is the action you're going to take? You are going to, most probably you might resign from your job. You might tell all your family and friends and relatives that you have to focus on your diet, your sleep, and your exercise. Absolute focus on these 3 areas. And you're going to change your entire life so that for the next 6 to 8 months, you're going to reduce 20 kilos because it's a matter of life and death. Second heart attack can lead you and you can die. So it's urgent and important. So every morning, early morning, you'll start getting up, you will walk for a few hours, you will control your diet, you will do anything and everything you possibly can, because now it's urgent and important. If you don't do it, the consequence is disastrous. So I gave you a personal example of urgent and important. Now, your child, okay, your son or daughter is doing a 10th or 12th, okay, and you realize the child is not doing well in the exams and there's something not right. And then you eventually come to realize that, your child is on drugs or, is addicted to alcohol or whatever, and is not able to, perform in the studies or in academics. So that is again, it has become a crisis. Now let's take a professional example. Okay. So a professional example is, okay, your boss is telling you, I need a report on Friday because on Saturday we have a board meeting. By 12 o'clock, we have a board meeting and I need this report on Friday. If I don't get this report on Friday, I'm not able to present, okay, the matter to the board. So do it, otherwise we are all in trouble. So again, it becomes urgent and important. So when you hear your boss saying that, you will stop everything and you will focus on that report. Or another example, while you're doing work in your office, you get a call from home and, somebody calls and tells you your grandfather's got, suffering a heart attack, or we think it's a heart attack. Okay. So what do? You'll immediately say, please, call the ambulance and take your granddad to the hospital. And you will stop everything that you're doing and you'll go to the hospital. Okay. So I'm just giving you multiple examples of the first quadrant. That is urgent and important. Now let's go on to the second quadrant. Now this is the most important quadrant, the second box. It is called the box of quality. It is called the quadrant of quality. Now what are the activities in this box? Okay, you need to be very, very attentive here, because you need to understand the activities of quadrant 2. Like I said, this is the quadrant or box of quality. Now what all activities fall into this box? One is relationship skills. Okay, it's not urgent, but it's important to build a relationship with your family members, with your children, with your spouse, with your colleagues in your office? Because do you think you can grow in your position if you don't have a strong relationship with your colleagues in your office? Okay. What about relationship with your customers? If you don't have good relationship with your customers, your business will never grow. So relationship skills, it's not urgent. You don't have to do it right now, but you have to do it consistently. Okay. If you do not do it consistently, then it can become a crisis. It can become box one problem or box one crisis. So box two is about, quadrant of quality, where it's important but not urgent. But you have to do it consistently. If you don't do it consistently, then eventually it will become box one, which is urgent and important. It becomes a crisis. So I'm giving you one act. So relationship skills. Empowerment. What is empowerment? Empowerment is about, say you're a manager. You have to train your team, or you're an entrepreneur. You have to train your team. You have to empower them to make decisions. Because only if you empower them how to do and why to do, can you delegate to them. So the power of delegation comes from empowerment. That is training your team, okay, to empower your team to delegate. So only if you delegate, what happens is you can share responsibilities, share accountabilities, and you can accomplish a lot more. Women have this, I don't know, for some reason, not just women, I think even men do, only if I do it, it's going to be the best way. No. Maybe if you do it, the efficiency might be 90%, okay? If your colleague does, it might be only 70%. But the point here is you can achieve and accomplish 10 times more if you have the knowledge on how to delegate. So delegation, okay? Health. Health is a quadrant to activity. Getting up early in the morning, going for your walk, or going to the gym, eating healthy, your diet. All that is related to your health, and it's a quadrant 2 activity. If you do not take care of your health, I gave you the example, you can become obese and you can suffer a heart attack and you can die. Then it becomes box 1, urgent and important. So getting up in the morning and going for a walk, it's not urgent, but it's important. You know that you have to do it. It's not urgent, but it's important. If you notice, the greatest successful people, they take care of their health as first priority. Okay? Because until and unless they're healthy, they cannot succeed or they cannot move forward. So recreation. Now you might think recreation is a waste of time. No. Recreation is important to, because you need to be happy. It's a part of building relationship. So if you, spend quality time with your family, that is recreation, that is building relationship. Having, going out with your friends, it's important because you are happy when you spend that time with your friends, and that is important. So quality, time being spent with family, with your friends, it's important. That's again box 2 important activity. It's not urgent, but it's important. Okay, self-development. Again, it's not urgent, but it's important. You need to keep on updating yourself with skills, with continuous learning. And when I say learning, I'm not talking about degrees and degrees and degrees. No. When I'm talking about learning from a very broad perspective. You can learn from your boss. You can learn from your colleagues. You can, you choose to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's you. You choose what time you get up in the morning. You can choose to get up at 4 or 5, and you can, do certificate programs online. Now, today, everything is available online. You can build so many skills. You can understand what kind of technologies are going to come up. What are the skills that I need to learn today so that I am capable of, getting a job of a particular kind of salary, or I'm capable of starting a business. What kind of skills do I need to learn today? So you choose what time you get up, and all these programs are available online. Just self-development. Again, it's a part of box 2 activity. It's not urgent, but it's important. Now, if you have any time, if you have made New Year resolutions, okay, say you just make 10 New Year resolutions, you will notice that every single one of those resolutions will be a box 2 activity. It's not urgent, but it is important. Now, the question is, when we know it's important, why are we not doing them? That's the big question. The reason being, it's because it's not urgent. You see, that's the reason. So we need to understand the the difference between urgency and importance. As human beings, we are addicted to urgency. Okay. See, in the first box, what is happening? The crisis has made you act. The heart attack made you act. You resigned from your job and you focused on your health and you focused on reducing 20 kilos. That heart attack made you act. Your grandfather's heart attack made you act, stop everything, and you acted. The event is making you act. The event is making you act. That's box 1. In box 2, the difference is you have to act. So in box 1, event is making you act. In box 2, who has to act? You have to act. You have to take the initiative. You have to get up in the morning and go for your walk. You have to enroll for that skill program and this skill program. You have to put time aside and build relationships, with your colleagues, with your customers, with your friends, with your family members. You have to act. And that is the difference. In box 2, we have to act. Box 1, the event will make you act. The key is, in box 2, you have no other option. You have to act. Because only if you do what is important, the crises in box 1 will keep coming down. And we need to understand this. Now let's go to box 3, urgent and not important. Urgent, but not important. Okay. Now, urgent, see, for example, the phone rings. That shrieking sound has given the illusion of importance. Okay. But it's basically, that you can't listen to that shrieking sound of the telephone. So you pick up the call and you say hello. And then when you say hello, you realize it's some bank calling and asking you, do you want a loan? So for the caller who has made the call, it is a quadrant 2 activity. It's a box 2 activity. It's important for them to make the sales call. That's how they get business. For them, it's 2, but for you, it's 3. Why? Because the sound of that phone made it sound urgent, so you picked it up, but it's not important to you. You understand? Or let's give you another example. Okay, a family, an aunt, a distant aunt and a cousin of yours, they have come home to invite you for the wedding, which is on Saturday. They've come home. So the minute they come home, you have this tendency, they've come home to invite me, so therefore I have to go for the wedding. Okay. Now, you have to make a choice. Going for a wedding is, you have to take leave for a day. You miss 1 day of office. Do you really need to go for the wedding? Just because they came home to invite you, do you really need to go for the wedding? Now you need to ask yourself, do I want to build a relationship with that cousin of mine? If you want to build a relationship with that cousin of yours, it's not box 3, it is box 2. But if you're just going there because they came home and invited you, then it's box 3. You don't have to do it. You can choose not to go for that function. Okay. So understand, box 3 takes a lot of our time. So when a huge survey was done and they found out, okay, majority of the 80% of the people spend their time in box 1 and box 3. Why? Because of urgency. Box 1 and 3 has got urgency. Majority, we are talking of 80% of the people spend their time in 1 and 3. And a huge survey was done. 500 successful entrepreneurs had to go through the survey, and it was, again, it's research based. It was found out that 80% of successful entrepreneurs who were surveyed, we're talking of 500 entrepreneurs who went through the survey, 80%, they spend their time in box 1 and box 2. Box 1 you cannot avoid. Crises and problems will come your way. But if you spend your time doing box 2 activities, the crises and problems keep coming down. And that is what we need to understand. Now, the last box, it's called the Quadrant of Waste. Okay. box of waste. That's the last. So what happens to us as human beings is, when too many problems. Okay, so we did not, focus on, let's say we did not focus on box two activities. We did not bother about our health or about our diet, or, we didn't build relationships, or, we didn't build our skills. We didn't do self-development, and, our job is at stake. We didn't do all that. So your crises are high. Your job is at stake, or your health is not good, or your relationships are bad. When you have too many problems or too many crises happening, the box one crisis is happening, we tend to run towards box four. And we spend a lot, waste our time, doing, unnecessary social media, hours on social media, hours watching movies on Netflix. We don't know where to run. We have too many problems to handle, too many, issues to deal with. We escape, we run away, and we start spending our time in box four, which is called the quadrant of waste, or the box of waste. Okay, so we need to understand these four boxes. Okay, and how Stephen R. Covey is divided the time between these four boxes. Okay, so I hope this concept is very clear to you. Please take time, you just Google on First Things First by Stephen R. Covey and listen to audios on that. It's on YouTube. Okay, it's transformative change. And this material is not new. It's 30 years old. I first read it, in 1995, just before I got married. I didn't understand anything when I read it the first time. I reread this in 2005 after I started my business. And that's when it was like a revelation to me, to understand on how we need to use our time. And this is specifically for women, okay? Especially women, because we get pulled in so many different directions. We need to be very, very careful about how we use our time. Okay. Another little concept which you need to understand is divide your important activities as per the role. What is the role? See, I'm a mother. As a mother, I need to do certain activities which are absolutely important. As a trainer, I need to keep updating my skill. So what are the activities that I need to do every single day to keep updating myself? I'm a founding member of an ROV, of an NGO. So what kind of, activities or what kind of time do I need to give to my NGO? Okay, I'm the managing director of my company. So what kind, amount of time that I need to give to that role as a managing director? Okay, so if you identify the role that you play and then divide your time according to important activities, there will be a lot of clarity on how you spend your time. The best format is to use calendar. Every phone has got, the Google Calendar. Just download the Google Calendar and schedule your time. Schedule important activities. Schedule it. If you look at my phone, an entire month will be scheduled. Okay. Now, when I say schedule, I'm not saying I'm, 8 hours in a day schedule. No. Important activities. The role of a mother, role of a managing director, role of a trainer, the important activities are already scheduled for the next entire month. So what happens when you do this, when you schedule your time, it will automatically take you in the right direction. It will take you in the direction where you will achieve your goals. So it's not about doing more things. It's about doing less. But whatever you do, it contributes towards your objective, towards your mission, towards your goal. Okay, so it's very simple if you're able to divide your time as per the role that you play. Okay, now I'm not going to take more time in giving you more inputs about time management. What I can do right now is I'd like to take some questions from you, and if you, I don't know how, are you going to ask me questions directly, or you can put the questions on the chat also. I'll start taking questions on the chat, and I'll do my best to answer the questions. So I think we've got maybe another 20, 25 minutes. No, I think 20 minutes. So we can do some questions.
Yes, if any of the participants have any question, please raise your hand. I think Mr. Robin Matthew has raised his hand.
But for some reason, I thought it was mainly women entrepreneurs who are going to be the audience. So I guess I was wrong. Yes, yes, Robin. Robin, can you hear me? Oh, yes, I think he's put it on the chat. What things you would consider before investing in a company? Okay. So first is, I need to understand whether you're talking about a startup company, or when you say investing in a company, you're talking about investing in the shares of a company. Okay. Now, if you're looking at it from a startup perspective, first you need to understand, the clarity in terms of your skill sets. Okay. Now, you might have an idea. An idea has no value unless and until it's validated. So the first, step is, have you validated your idea? So I am talking about from a startup perspective. Have you validated your idea? Have you brought it out to the level of a prototype? Have you, started sales? What is the kind of sales that you're doing? Have you done large customer surveys to understand the customer need? Have you, have you tweaked your idea or your product based on customer need? So these are multiple questions that I would ask before I invest in a startup, or for that matter, if it is investing in shares, it's a totally different concept. But if you're thinking of investing in a startup, these are the kind of I would get their own startup. The first step I would do is, do I have the skill sets? If I don't have the skill sets, can I bring in a team that will complement the skill sets, and together we are able to create a viable venture? So, that's the way I would, initiate investing in a startup. Or if I am going to start the startup, yes, team, the prototype of the product, okay, its validation in the market, whether my product is in tune with what the customer needs. Now, that's very important. It's not about the feature. Some people are focused about, my product has got this feature, that feature, it can do so many things. No, the focus is on, does it solve a problem? Does it serve the customer need? These are the two questions that you need to ask yourself. Does the product solve a problem? Okay. And these are the questions I would ask before I would invest in a company. I have to go for production of my patented product. I'm gathering courage to face opposition of my husband. Okay, the question is not very clear to me. I'm not clear exactly what opposition that you're talking about. But, I did say that for women, especially, it's very important that we have support. Okay, at least we should strive for, getting support from your family members. And for me, when I say family members, it's not just husband we're talking about. Husband, children, your parents, some kind of buy-in, where you need to set that foundation before you enter into an entrepreneurial venture. Why? Because you need their support. In an entrepreneurial venture, there are multiple pressures that you will be going through. And that support system is extremely important, for you to get where you want to go. Okay. Now, I'm a little, I'm not. It's not clear when you say I'm gathering courage to face opposition of my husband. I don't know why you're expecting your husband to oppose it, because if you're patenting a product, that means it's innovative. It's definitely something that is brand new. Okay, and that is why you're looking at patenting it. So, I think maybe you should take some time and, try to talk to your husband and go ahead. Just go ahead.
Vaishali,
Vaishali,
you want to talk?
Vaishali, would you like to, yeah, Vaishali, if you want to talk, why don't you ask me the question? Vaishali, would you like to ask me the question?
Hello,
Yes.
am I audible?
Yes, Vaishali.
Huh.
You
My
are.
husband says there should be order first, then you go for manufacturing. And I say, unless the product is patent, though it is patent, it is new. People don't know its value. And so to show it to somebody, to market it to somebody, I should have at least first few pieces done for that. Then only I will be able to market it. This is what the scenario is. So what should I do?
So, Vaishali, what you're saying is you have an idea. Okay. You have already created a prototype for it, right?
Prototype also, I have created mold also.
You
Only
created the
thing
mold.
is go for production and then marketing. But my husband says, unless and until you have an order, you should not go for marketing. And that's creating a lot of problem.
See, if it's a very extremely, innovative product, like you mentioned, patenting, it doesn't cost much
Isn't it?
to apply for a patent. So that is something you
Yeah.
can always do. But when it comes to, putting out the product into the market, okay, you have to, it's not just, you in your mind, every product of yours is your own baby. Okay. So we are emotionally attached to our products. Okay. I'll be very honest with you. I've been through that process of being very attached to my products. And I'm thinking in my mind, this product is fantastic. This product can solve all the problems. Okay. But in reality, the customer need might be totally different. And you'll be amazed. Sometimes, all kind of products come out in the market. But 90% of the products fail because it does not solve a real problem of the customer, because it is not focused on customer need. We, and let me say, especially women, for us, every product of ours is like our own kid. It's our own baby. Okay. And our baby can do no fault.
I have to say something.
Yes, Vaishali.
My product says 15 to 20% of water supplied by the local government. This is the first thing. Second thing, it reduces sewage volume with the same amount. Same amount. So definitely it's a very good product. Though it's my baby, it's not that it's very important to mankind also. We are 138 crore people in India. So it's a very necessary that earth remains clean. That's
okay,
also.
can I ask you? I'm going to ask you one question. Have you taken your product to an actual customer and asked the customer's opinion? Have you done a real valid customer survey? Have you spoken to stakeholders? When I'm talking of stakeholders, I'm talking about all the stakeholders, people who will buy your product, the laboratory, or the science behind it. Have you got it validated by the science behind, scientists behind it? Have you spoken to all the stakeholders, the suppliers of your making the product? You have multiple suppliers. Have you spoken to the vendors? How many customers have you really spoken to? Okay, do you have a number? 100, 200? Okay, what is the feedback you have got from them? And why not actually go and get an order? What is preventing you from actually going? If you think your product is so fantastic, go out and try and get an order for it. Why not?
Exactly. For that, at least 100 products I should make to get the feedback, perfect feedback. Only saying is not enough. To get the things done, to save the water and everything is important. And to show that at least I should make 100 products. Without that, I cannot prove. Yes, it's proven. It's proven.
This 100 number is absolute. Is it a huge investment cost that is required for this, 100 products that you need to make?
100 multiplied by 600.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So it's basically, the fear of should I spend or invest so much in making 100 of these products. Okay, that is the fear. Should I invest? Because you're not sure how the market is going to take it.
No, I'm ready to do that. I want to do that. But for that, my husband is not ready. He says, you do not do it. People will not believe you. People will make fun of you and all that he says. It's not that. I'm sure that.
Instead of making 100, can you make 5 or 10 and actually get it validated by a real customer who's willing to purchase from you? Can you take that first step? See, why I'm saying this, Vaishali, is, it's not just you, all of us. I mean, I have burnt my fingers multiple times. Okay, I have come out with products which I thought was really fantastic, but I have lost money. Okay, because it was not the actual need of what the customer wanted. So if you really, really have full belief in yourself, make maybe 5 or 10, go out there, actually get an order. Do that. Okay, and then there is nobody can stop you after that. Your husband, or nobody can stop you. Even the bank will, support you to get into real production and manufacturing. So this is, what do I say? So advice is subjective. Okay, so this is my personal advice to you, because when you actually validate a product with a real purchase order, there's nothing better than that. So that is the best way for you to prove to everybody around you that this will sell.
Okay, I'll try this more in the world. Yes.
Sure, Vaishali. Think about it. Like I said, don't fall in love with your baby. Okay. Think objectively, pros and cons. Okay. I also mentioned you need the support of your family. You want to enter into an entrepreneurial journey, you need the support of your family, because you'll face a lot of pressures, lot of issues along the way, a lot of stumbling blocks. And the only, people who can be there for you is your, people around you. So their buy-in is very important. So even if it takes a little longer, because you're all excited now, okay, but even if it takes a little longer, take that time, but, take that time, effort, energy, and a little bit of money, and prove to yourself and to everybody else that, yes, I can make an order. I can get a purchase order for this. That's my advice to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Sure. Anybody else with a question, you can just ask me. I was just going through the chat. I found some interest. Yes. Who's that?
Ma'am, my name is Jishma.
Yes, Jishma.
I'm BTech graduated in this last week, and I would like to ask some actually not questions. Actually, before 9 months, I started a company. I've registered as an LLP, which is it's not a product-based one; it's as a service-based one, which is related to subsurface mapping and all. I'm a civil engineer graduate, so I love that geotechnical, that kind of thing. So what I have to ask is, in our field, it is we were like new one, and there is no problem to get work also. But the thing actually I faced during these six months is, there's a question which is very important, but that is, how can you trust somebody? It's like, is it a trust or talent? Which one I have to take? Because we have got some works, and I won't tell that we have cheated, but the thing is, we couldn't able to trust the other people. First of all, this company was registered as an LLP by 2 girls, and the employees under us, actually they are not able to hear what we say, because they're very reluctant to obey the orders by 2 girls. That was like we have no issues in getting works, even though we are newcomers. But during this last 9 months, we were so busy doing the works and all. But the thing is, this employee management is a very important crisis between in front of us. I would like to know how to manage them. I've heard your webinar. There also I heard that you have to recreational things, empower everything. We are doing everything, but the thing is, at some point of time, we are not getting what we really want, and the people, they are not ready to trust us. Actually, the employees are not ready to trust us because of many problems, like we are girls and they can't do anything, that kind of things. And also from not our parents, I would like to continue as a business person, but from the society and from our relatives, from our parents, everything, no, go for a government job, you have to do that. It's not consistent. But the thing is, I would actually what I'm doing now is exactly the practical thing which I have studied from this 4 years. So I would like hello.
Yeah, Jishna. Okay, so right now you have mentioned multiple. You're going facing multiple issues. Okay. One is, I'm saying that you're definitely young. How old are you?
I'm 23.
Okay, you're 23.
Yeah.
Okay, so you and your friend, you all have started an LLP, and then you have a team. How many people are there in your team?
Actually, our team is on project basis. We didn't have this permanent type of employees, but we have some friends and everything for the project. So if it's a big project, we need 5 to 6 people. So we'll call our friends and we'll give the payment, everything. And we couldn't afford a permanent employee type because we are just starting.
Understood. That's okay. That's the best model to go by. You go by project. So that's a smart thing to do. You know, for every project, you work out your cost, you work out your inflow, outflow, okay, and let it be project based. So every project, it should be profitable. Okay.
Yes,
now, what I see is a problem here is, management skills. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you're only 23. You have you have many years for you to learn. Okay. And let me also tell you that, what do I say? Jumping into the water is how you're going to learn to swim. Okay. That's the only way. You have to jump into the water, and that's the only way you cannot stand on the bank and try to learn management skills. So you have already jumped in. Okay. So that's good. You did the first step. Now you have to learn to swim. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, first is when you have a team. Okay. The expectations of the team has to be very clear. Your expectation of what you want from the team has to be very clear. Now, what I mean by that is when you have given, you are giving each of them an offer letter, right? When you take somebody on for one of your projects, you're clarifying, it has to be a document where you're specifying, this is your role. These are your objectives. This is what I am expecting from you. These are the end results. Measure the end results. It has to be measured with absolute clarity. These are the end results that I am expecting from you. And then you have to take a signature for that. That's the first step. What is that step? It's very important where you are clarifying expectations. So the employee or your team member is very clear as to what is expected from them in terms of performance. Okay. Understood? So that is first step. Now you cannot just call people, put them in a team and tell them, do this, do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it doesn't work like that. Okay. The team has to be very clear as to what is their role, what are their objectives, and what is it that you expect from them in terms of performance. So once you set, that expectation clear, then it is clear to both parties. What do you mean by measuring their performance? How you measure their performance? Because it's clear on paper. Okay, that is one. Two, we're talking of management skills here. Okay. Now, management skills, I can't give it to you in 1 line or 2 lines. there is more learning in that. Okay, how to build a team, how to, get performance, extract performance from your team. Okay, how to, like you mentioned the word trust. Okay, my team doesn't trust me. Okay, see, first it starts with, do you trust your team? That's the first step. Okay, first step is, do you trust your team? Then only you can expect your team to trust you. Trust happens when you are capable. See, what happens is, in your mind, you think, oh, because I'm a woman, they're not trusting me. No. Okay, they will trust you if they believe that you are capable. So capability and integrity are two qualities that is required for trust to happen. Capability and integrity. So the team has to feel that you are capable, and integrity. Integrity is what you promise you will deliver. Okay. So you have to ask yourself, am I capable of this? 1, 2. Okay. Will I deliver whatever I promise to them? And that happens through experience. So you have to show that you're capable. You also have to, deliver what you promise. And that is how trust is formed. Now, if you are extremely capable, but you don't have integrity, the team will not trust you. You need both capability and integrity.
Ma'am,
so,
okay.
Yeah.
Ma'am,
yeah,
hello?
just now. Yes, tell me.
Yes, ma'am. I'm talking about one thing. I mean, one problem happened in our company. That's why. But I have done each and everything. I mean, what you call, whatever I gave, whatever I offered. I mean, I don't know how to express the thing, but I have did whatever I can, and I have promised everything. I mean, I have delivered also. But the thing is, they would maybe one problem I faced is from our employees. I know what I am experiencing, like facing from my colleagues, my relatives, my teachers, and all. Because they don't don't focus on this. This will you focus on government jobs. So my employees are also facing that. So at the point of time, they also turn into some other fields, like some government job, something not related to us. So that's one problem from our employees. And the second one is, as I've told, everybody is coming as to cheat. I mean, trying some master plan and then cheating us.
See, Jishna, one is, before you enter into an entrepreneurial journey, you have to get your team in place. And the team has to be completely focused 100%. Okay, which means that even the families of the team members have to be in support. You understand? That means we have to spend some time creating the very strong foundation. Okay. And once the team comes in, the team has to, it's not that she's my friend and she's my friend, so we'll make a team. No. Teams are formed through skill sets. That means I have one skill set, she's got one skill set. The third person is good at finance, this person is good at marketing, this person is good at technical. So we can, together with our skills, we can make this project viable. Now, your family has to have the confidence. The team members between themselves have to have 100% level of trust, and they need to feel secure. The reason why all these doubts come is because of financial insecurity. Where is this going to go? Am I going to earn my income every month? Okay, will this succeed? Will this fail? Because we need to understand entrepreneurial ventures is risk-taking. There is a risk attached to it. You can lose all your money, whatever you invested. You can lose of your time. Your friends will, jump at you and ask you, I told you not to do this. I told you to do this. I told you to go for a government job. You did this business. Now we have lost 2 years. You've lost money. Understand, an entrepreneurial journey has got a risk attached to it. So that's why, when I spoke to, Vaishali also, I told her, what did I say? I said, validated.
Yes, ma'am.
You have a product, you have an idea, make a prototype, make the product and go get an order and prove to everybody around you that, I can get an order. And then you go ahead and do manufacturing. Everybody will support you with confidence, because it's natural to feel insecure when it comes to, income and finance, because nobody wants to lose money. And I'll tell you something, men and women, especially men, when they make a mistake or they lose money in a business, because they are conditioned to be the bread earners and everybody, the family around them is conditioned to be bread earners, what happens is he makes a mistake, they will encourage him, oh, it's okay, you try again, or you do this, or you do, make this change. And they will keep motivating him to try again and again. When a woman makes a mistake, okay, and she loses money, everybody will pounce on her and says, see, I told you not to do that. I told you to go for a safe job. That is the society mindset. Okay. So you and me cannot change society mindset. We cannot do that. But only you can act. What I'm trying to say is only you can respond, which means that you as a woman need to work, put that extra time, effort, and energy. You don't have an option here. If you want to enter in, initiate an entrepreneurial journey, you need to put that extra time, effort, and energy. Okay. Yes, creating the prototype and also making that sale, getting that purchase order and getting everybody convinced, including your team members, that yes, we can make this work. And it's not going to be easy. It's going to be tough. In my intro, I did say 18 years, I crashed my business. It's crashed. I've rebuilt it, crashed, rebuilt it. I've gone through that journey. I know what it feels like to lose money. Okay, I'm a mother too. I'm a spouse too. So I've been through that journey. Okay, it is that experience of going through that journey and then coming out of it and then building it. So this is what I will tell you. You're 23 years old. You are young. If you truly, truly believe in your product, you need to prove it.
Yeah, ma'am.
By getting the order and convincing everybody around you, including your team members, that yes, I'm capable, and stick to it. Okay, but stick with a mindset that I will not give up.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand? And you're going to get pounced from everybody around you. But I will also say, if you lose money, everybody's going to pounce at you. Okay.
Yeah, ma'am.
So keep this in mind. And if you're still passionate about it and you still believe in yourself and in your product, go get a purchase order and then stick to that path, stick to that journey. Okay. This is my advice to you, Krishna.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Sure. I'm not sure how much more time that we have here, but are there any more questions? Maybe I can take one more.
Yeah, ma'am. Anisha Jayakumar, she has sent a question. Anisha, would you like to talk? Or should I? Okay, I'll read the question, ma'am. Sure. Suppose I scheduled my day-to-day activities on the basis of the urgency and importance, but unexpected things happen like sudden scheduled meetings, kids making problem, etc. It completely spoiled my schedules. Then how can I overcome the situation?
Okay. Now, what did I say? I said, identify important activities as per your roles. Okay. So if you're an entrepreneur, what are the important activities where only you can do it? That means your time needs to be spent there. Anything else that can be delegated, you should delegate to others. Okay. But there are certain areas where your action is required. So that you schedule your time, because, for the role of an entrepreneur. Now, if your role is a mother, identify that area which you need to spend your time in, for your child, maybe 1 hour. So schedule that time. Maybe, maybe your husband can go for the parents-teachers meeting. You need not go for it. Or maybe your maid can do the kitchen work where you delegate it to the maid, or you have somebody other support in the house, where, you also have to get your children to involve in doing housework. Because end of the day, you need to delegate a lot of work so you can focus your time on your entrepreneurial journey. Okay. So when I say schedule your month, I'm not talking of scheduling every hour and every minute. No, I'm only talking about scheduling important activities. Like, for example, you need to, you can choose what time you want to get up. You can get up at 4 or 5 or 6. It's up to you. But once I get up, what do I do? Do I go for a walk in the morning? Do I take care of my health? So that needs to be scheduled. Okay. It should be a habit. Every day, the habit repeats itself. I get up at 5. Okay. I do yoga from 5 to 6, or I go for a walk from 6 to 7. That is scheduled. So that is taking care of an important activity, which is health. Then, okay, maybe for half an hour, if you have a maid, I will delegate what all the maid needs to do. Now you have to trust the maid to do all those activities. It need not be perfect. If you have an attitude of perfectionism, yes, you are going to go through immense stress. Okay, don't be a perfectionist. It's okay if it's not perfect, that's okay. Okay, so delegate. Then, as an entrepreneur, you need to do client visits. Okay, that is one area which is extremely important, where your action is important. So you schedule client visits, or you schedule, meeting clients. Everything else can I delegate everything else to my team? So based on your role, identify those important activities, which is an absolute requirement, where your involvement is absolutely required. Only that you need to schedule. Okay. And I'm not talking of scheduling on a daily basis. I'm talking about scheduling for the next 1 week, for the next month, if possible. Now, let me tell you, it's not going to be very easy. It's going to be difficult, because for me, it's easy because I've been doing this for so many years. Okay. It is through repetition and through a lot of corrections that I was able to reach that stage where I can schedule for a whole month. And when I say schedule, I'm not talking of 8 hours of the day schedule. No. Maybe it's only 3 hours that is scheduled, because I'm scheduling only important activities. Rest of it, are fillers. But the important activity gets done. And sometimes, yes, crises will happen and your plans can go haywire. It can happen. And it's okay. You reschedule your important activities. Okay. So this is how, so it's, the calendar is not like, it's fixed forever and ever. It will evolve. It will evolve. But the key area here is 80% of your time, are you going in the direction of your goal, of your mission? That is a question you need to ask yourself. Okay. Do I have, I don't know if there's time to take any more questions.
Time was until 5.
Yeah. Right. I mean, there is one, Mr. Koshi, who's been, putting a lot of messages in the chat. It's quite interesting to read, some of the messages that he has put, but that's nice. Thank you, Koshi, for, for all the messages that you're putting, which are very, positive and knowledgeable messages. Thank you.
Ma'am, we'll wind up the session. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for joining us. And it was really a great talk you had given to our audience. I'm sure they will try out your plan, which you had given for the urgent and important things, and they will schedule the time and use it accordingly. Thank you so much for spending your time with us.
Thank you, Divya. And I wish all the women entrepreneurs here all the best. Okay. Just remember, first fix your goal, your mission, and then, schedule your time. So thank you, and God bless. God bless you all. Do well. Take care.
Thank you all
Bye.
for joining.